Democracy
Democracy for you and me.
Democracy machine your dollar free.
Political democracy, panel discussion of voter apathy. Mr. Alaji Gay, you are a web developer. The young people, they're a digital nation now. Facilitating voting by taking voting online. What do you have to say about that?
Okay, we are in a digital age, so everyone now is fixated on his smartphone. So people, in fact, when we are on dinner, having breakfast, lunch, when we are chatting with friends, every time we are just on our phones. So why not we bring that education or information regarding about elections, voting, everything, onto what they love using, because people, they love using their phones.
Yeah.
They are with them all the time. Yeah. So because of that, we in partnership with Cepras, we developed a mobile application that is targeted to the electorates, and it's to help raise awareness about Gambia's elections, and its importance.
What's the name of the app?
Yeah. The name of the app is Voter Education.
Voter Education.
Yes, and it's available on the Play
So
Store.
the app right now, it creates awareness and it teaches young people about, but can you actually vote on the app?
Okay, well, right now, according to the Constitution and ICC, there is no way you can vote
on
online.
the app, online.
Yes.
And you feel,
we don't have that.
and you feel as a solution, this should change.
Yes, that will help, because it will make life easier, because there are, in the case of those that live far to polling stations, it will be much easier if we have
Even in the case of persons with disabilities.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, even on those cases, like where you may be discriminated.
Well, someone might say the problem with voting online is the problem of security. How can voting online not be rigged? Because you know, like banking online is secure, but what systems and how cost effective is it going to be to put systems into place where to secure voting online?
Okay, the hard fact is that there is no system that is 100% secure. Even the banking app that you made mention of is not 100% secure. Okay. So there are always downsides of using one system against another. But I will go into that in a minute. So I want to talk more about what the app does and what it teaches.
Okay.
So basically, it educates the electorate on everything about election matters and voting. Yeah. So we have so many topics when it comes to the education part. So we teach about voter education, voter and voter registration, the importance of voting, voting as a civic duty, the implication of low voter turnout, the registration process, how people can register, the role of CSO, the media, ICC, political parties, all of that is on the app, and how we can accomplish peaceful elections. Avoid violence, intimidation.
Is this information brought via in written form, or is it via in ways that people can actually watch and listen? Because not everybody can read.
Exactly, because there are so many illiterates in fact in the Gambia.
Yeah.
So when we develop apps, we always consider those things. There are so many people that are illiterate; they cannot read, they cannot write, and also we have a bigger issue, which is in fact internet connection.
Okay.
Yeah. So the internet in this country is very slow, is very expensive, and is unreliable. So we considered all of that when we are developing the app.
Voting online and teaching the electorate these things via the app, for example. Let's say we have a person with disability, a blind person, you understand, who cannot see what they can hear.
Yeah.
They will need something in the form of sonar, in the form of sound.
Exactly.
You understand?
Yeah.
Let's say someone who cannot hear but they can see. They will need something in the app in the form of sign language. You understand what I'm trying to say? And the case goes on.
Yes. Now, just like I was saying, we considered so many things when we were designing the app. So it's not just the educated that can use it. So for every text, we have the translation in Mandinka, Wolof, Fula, and other languages, local languages that people can easily understand. And even in English also.
Okay.
So if you don't want to read the text or you cannot read it, you can just listen to the voice of translation.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And you feel this is a step in the way forward to dealing with voter apathy when it comes to young people, especially because we're all a digital nation now. Someone would, if they know they can vote on their phones, they would rather vote on their phones than actually get up and go to the voting polls to vote.
Definitely. Because in fact, there was this election opinion poll that was conducted by Sepras, and the information was the same.
Can you, for those who don't know what Sepras is,
Sepras is a research institute under the University of the Gambia. Yes, so they do research, studies, all those things. Now, they conducted a survey in the form of opinion polls. So one finding is that 63% of the electorates, they say that the most important factor in determining the person to vote for is their manifesto.
Okay.
Yeah, and like CEO said, it's almost impossible to get people's parties' manifestos. Most of these political parties, they don't even have websites. Yeah, so you cannot readily access it. And even on the ICC website, you cannot have it. So at the end of the day, you realize that information is scattered. If you want to know about, let's say, NPP, you have to go to their website. That is if they have website. If you want to know about UDP,
so your app centralizes those information.
Yes,
it
we
puts
centralize
everything.
it. We have information about
all the political
candidates.
parties, candidates.
Yeah, but the last update we did on the app was in July, August.
So basically, some of
so since then, there are new parties that have registered. So those ones we not captured. But before that, we've captured all of them. Yeah. So we will centralize all the information on just one app, and you have the information not just on written. You have it in audio form as well.
So basically, some of these problems that we've been mentioning throughout, the problem of who do the young people vote for, via apps like these, they can gain their research via these apps. They can go and look up all the necessary information, do comparative reasoning and all those things in the language of their choice, in the format of their choice, whether you are a person with disability, whether you can see and not hear, whether you can hear and not see, and all of that. Yeah. This is wonderful. Yeah. This is wonderful. Yeah. I'm going to come to you, Moru. Possible solutions. Let me ask you a question. In the case of somebody who cannot see, for example, a blind person. I know you're not blind, but I would like you to represent someone that is blind, for example.
Okay.
They can't literally get up and go and vote, but they're gambling as well, right? And the brother here has brought about possible solutions as to how an app can solve those things. A blind person can listen and receive instructions on how to vote online. Obviously, they might need help still. In going to a polling station, a blind person will have to have somebody accompany them, take them. Understand? Just like someone who is crippled would have to have somebody take them as well. So persons with disabilities face a lot of challenges in depending on their disabilities. Understand?
Yeah.
What do you feel are certain solutions for a wide range of persons with disabilities when it comes to combating voter apathy?
Okay. What I would suggest for being the solutions of disability when it comes to elections, more especially polling stations during the day of election. We have different types of disability, of which includes we have some of us are visually impaired, we have handicaps, we have wheelchair users, and then we also have hard of hearing. So it is very difficult for those people to be voting, and then with that I would propose a solutions like we would like the Electoral Commission to, because most of us are not staying in the same area, we are not staying together. So, and then we have different police stations as well. So it will be very much important for the Electoral Commission to consider people living with disability by either providing braille or ramps for during the day of polling station, because some are using wheelchairs, and then also blind people also find it very difficult because they need to be accompanied to the polling stations. So we really IEC need to do something more, especially for persons with albinism. Also, we find it very difficult to see something small or far, so it will be very much important for them to consider their documents of writing. So when they are typing, they make different font size, so that persons with albinism or visual impaired find it very easy to access them, those documents, when it comes to polling stations.
Interesting. So the IEC should do more for persons with disabilities.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Kadi, just go ahead and tell me what you feel are possible solutions to some of the challenges that we have mentioned here.
Well,
Especially with CSOs in the media and voter education.
okay, like I said earlier, voter education is really important. And I think, I believe this is one of the best ways we can bring it out to people, that this is what you're supposed to do. This is how you're supposed to do it. Let's do this, let's not do that. And we use the media a lot. We use TVs, radios, even now our telephones, mobile phones, like he just mentioned. And talking to people about these things really will make them understand, especially
Absolutely.
with the languages we speak.
Okay.
Because even if you do not belong to a certain tribe, most of us generally speak these languages together. Maybe from school, kids we played with, and we all understand these languages.
I'm going to throw a question in the open for anyone that wants to answer this. What about making voting mandatory? Making voting by force? Let's say if you're 18 and above, just like how as a Gambian you would have a passport, you understand, on ID card, making voting mandatory. As in, if you're 18 and above, you vote or you get fined a fee of, let's say, for example, $1,000. Do you think that can help in solving voter apathy, or is that a bit too? Because if someone knows that if I don't get up to go and vote, I'm going to get fined. You understand? It's my responsibility as a Gambian, just like I have a passport, I have an ID, I need to vote. Do you think that could work?
Well,
It might work, but I'm thinking it won't at all.
It won't work.
Because
Why?
generally people...
Why do you think it wouldn't be a solution?
Generally people don't like to be
Forced
to
to do things.
Once you start that, it's like dictatorship is here.
Okay.
And I believe in as much as it's important...
But it's a responsibility to vote.
Yeah, it's important, but it's also a choice.
It's also a choice.
And it's very important.
So you support the
choose.
choice of not voting, in as much as you support the choice of voting?
Which is why I said it is important we understand why
we should vote.
Once you understand why you should vote,
You'll be
will never
naturally
sit back.
compelled
Yeah.
to vote.
That is why we choose to educate the people through the media. Like a TV show I host currently, it's called the Ballot Power Show.
Yeah.
And on this show, we bring in people specialized in different areas when it comes to youth empowerment, women representation bill, and
your show doesn't just wait towards election.
No, I believe Sahel, my TV station actually, has been educating people way long before election.
Okay.
Yeah, because I believe the cycle has been here for a very long time.
Kudos to you on that.
Thank you very
Kudos
much.
to you on
So we educate the voters in different languages. I try to speak in
that. Yeah.
other languages
Of course.
also, although I'm not
It's a
perfect.
teamwork, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
we have the host, I hosted and I invite someone from one of these organizations to represent us, the Gambian.
Okay, so we're looking at internet, apps, digital nation. We're looking at the media houses doing more, not only towards election, but civic education throughout the year, getting at more people via the media, via the internet, and the IEC doing more to support the cause of persons with disabilities. this brings us to the end of panel 2. Voluntary democracy. Do not give up on democracy. Voter apathy. Yeah,
I want
but
to say something.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay. On top of this, voter education, it's always important to educate the people. It's very important. But also, the more data they have, the better. So on the application that we developed, also we added like this past election results. So that information is actually available on the IEC website, but it's hard to access. So we also incorporated that onto the app, so you will able to have result analysis of the election and how people voted in every constituency whom they voted and even the ballots themselves. So you have all of that in the app, and also we want people to know where to vote. The location is important. So for every district across the country, we have all the polling stations and registration centers.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that registration centers actually we added while the registration process was going on. So it must have it had helped some people to know where they can register from.
Okay.
And like I said, internet is a big challenge in this country.
It is.
Yeah. So we made the app.
It looks like voting online, even though all young people are a digital nation, voting online is not something that we can, conceive in the near future.
Well, if the IEC wants it,
if the IEC wants it, it can be done. Okay.
Even before the election.
But considering the internet is a problem, that expands the financial
maybe it will be limited to just those investors.
Exactly.
KMC.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, voluntary democracy. Do not give up on democracy. Voter apathy. We've come to the end, but I'm gonna let everyone give a last closing remark. Let's start with you.
Okay. I'm very much grateful for inviting me, and then I also give special thanks to the Association of Gambia Albinos, because this is really important to be educating the public about what disability people face when it comes to elections, and then to propose solutions to those problems that they face. I'm very much grateful for inviting us. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Madam Patty.
Yes, thank you very much for having me. What I would love to add to what I've just said is to still emphasize on how the media and CSO could play a big role in this upcoming election. Although it's almost here, but I believe we should continue educating the people. Let us include our national languages, and let us stick to what we are asked to do or what we learned to be. Journalists are not supposed to be part of any party or anything. Be neutral, report respectfully, and let's ensure we maintain peace throughout the election cycle. Thank you very much.
Mr. Lajigay, closing remarks?
I'm very happy to be here, and one thing that I will like to say is that despite these politicians deceiving us since independence, you cannot give up on your country. You have to vote. There are so many candidates. I think right now we have up to 20 candidates. Wow. Maybe most of them will form an alliance in a coalition sort of, but you have a lot of choices. So as a human being, maybe some candidates, you may not like their agenda, but there must be someone whom you like maybe up to 70% of his agenda. Life is about compromise. You cannot get everything that you want. So if if one of the candidates meets maybe up to 70% of what you are looking for in a candidate, maybe just give him a chance.
A chance.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we've heard it from these beautiful and amazing, talented young people here at Sahel Studios. Voluntary democracy, panel discussion 3 coming.